On the realm of the Force known as Mortis, the three Jedi of Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ahsoka Tano were in the midst of a titanic struggle between light and dark. The Force wielder known as the Daughter had sacrificed herself to save her father, and now the balance of the Force was with the dark side and the Son. Upon the advice of the ghost of former Jedi Master Qui-Gon Jinn, Anakin goes to the Well of the Dark Side to seek answers on how to deal with the threat of the Sun. Landing in the fire-surrounded pit, the Sun is awaiting his arrival and tempts Anakin to the dark side, showing him visions of his future and his turn to the Sith. Now following the Sun to prevent what he saw, Anakin is saved by the father erasing his memories, as the Son had been distracted by the potential of Obi-Wan and Ahsoka joining forces with the father. With the subsequent deaths of the father and the Son, the powers of Mortis fade away and their memories of the events are confused. But what if Anakin's memories had never been erased by the father? How would visions of a dark future affect Anakin? As you'll find out, his visions could have changed the complexion of the Jedi Knight. Anakin felt the invasion into his mind and he saw terrible visions of Sidious, Padme and Obi-Wan. As he fell to the floor, he vowed to never let any of these events happen and followed the Son to his ship. To his anger, Ahsoka had disabled the ship in time and the Son was wary that they had sought the help of the father. Before he could do anything about it, the father arrived to block an escape and pleaded with the Son to stop his plans of destruction. The Son uses his Force powers to conjure red Force lightning at the father, and as it is deflected, he orders Anakin to attack the father. The Jedi Knight is about to plunge his lightsaber into the father's chest, when he is blocked by Ahsoka's blades. The Padawan is able to hold off the attacks of her master for long enough to allow Obi-Wan to use the retrieved dagger of Mortis and kill the Son, as his father dropped him to the floor below. With the Sun gone, the dark side within Anakin had somewhat faded, but the father decided that Anakin should keep his memories and use them wisely, way to bring balance to the Force. Leaving the father to dwell on the planet alone for the rest of his existence, the Jedi leave the planet and awoke in their shuttle to the voice of Captain Rex. Anakin begins to remember the torture that the Sun had made him endure, and they quietly head back to their cruiser. After completing their rendezvous with Rex and the rest of the clones, the Jedi are allowed back to Coruscant, and Obi-Wan notices that Anakin is oddly quiet. The Jedi Knight silently walks to the office of his secret wife Senator Padme Amidala of Naboo, and the two Jedi are confused. Taking a seat next to the desk of the Senator, he reveals what the Son had shown to him on Mortis, and the others are worried that Anakin would act on these visions. Obi-Wan leaves Padme's apartment and visits Master Yoda for his feel on how to deal with Anakin, and the Jedi Grand Master tells him that Anakin needed to let go of these attachments. Obi-Wan is skeptical as he had failed ever since he had seen him on Tatooine, and asks Yoda if Anakin should perhaps be tasked with finding out who the Sith had been in his vision, to which Yoda agrees. The Jedi Knight meanwhile had paid a visit to his friend Palpatine, and although he does not detail what he had seen, the disguised Sith Lord can sense Anakin's conflict and his new vulnerability to the dark side. Palpatine told Anakin that the Jedi way may not work if his visions were to not become true, and Anakin left with more doubts in his mind. The Supreme Chancellor summoned his apprentice Count Dooku from across the galaxy and shares the recent discovery of Anakin Skywalker's turmoil. Dooku was worried for his own plans, as he had not accounted for Anakin falling to the dark side so quickly, and as much as he hated to admit it, Skywalker would soon become a very powerful Force user. For now, he would have to wait for his master to make his move, and Dooku is ordered by Sidious to capture anybody close to the Jedi Knight and place more doubts in his mind. Dooku immediately turns to the services of bounty hunter Cad Bane, a move approved by Sidious, and they choose to target Senator Padme Amidala. As the Duros hunter arrived to meet Dooku on Coruscant in his Rogue-class starfighter, the Sith apprentice had already obtained the plans to the 500 Republic under the Senate building, so after Bane had adjusted his hat, he stealthily moved to his target. Padme was seated in her office, looking at the latest bill that had been proposed by the Separatists, and she was aiming to gather a group of senators to oppose the move when she felt a chill run through her spine. Turning around, Cad Bane was smiling devilishly in her direction. That is it for part 1 of What If Anakin Didn't Have His Memories Erased by the Father. If you'd like to see a part 2 soon, please like this video, turn on that notification bell, click that subscribe button on this channel, as well as on my other channel What If Films. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd all like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and see you next time.